how did you get in touch with, of course, the popular group A Tribe Called Red, and how they're in the VR DocX program?
So A Tribe Called Red brought us the concept for a piece where essentially you would be able to remix one of their songs using only your eyes, so a VR piece. So Indian City 360 is essentially a virtual reality interactive dance party where by looking around the space, kind of whipping your head back and forth, you can isolate certain sounds from the Tribe track and trigger things in the sky. So there's some air horns and some vocalizations. And it's really a way to look at the way they combine modern sounds and traditional sounds in their music.
And tell us a little bit about the other project, Polarman.
So Polarman is the story of Iqaluit's real-life superhero, Polarman. He spent years living in Iqaluit, shoveling snow, mediating fights on the playground, and spreading an anti-bullying message. So we're telling Polarman's origin story in a very classic kind of superhero sense using animated comic book panels. So we commissioned 3 comic artists to draw Polarman's story in different ways, and the viewer will be able to choose which version of the story they want to see. And then the whole thing is narrated by Polarman, telling how he sort of discovered the Lone Ranger when he was a kid, was bullied and felt like he had to do something to sort of fight this, fight back against what was happening to him. So he became Polarman, and he's been Polarman ever since.
Nice. Well, for a project like that, or a project like A Tribe Called Red, can you tell us how long does it actually take to put something like this together, or like how did you come up with the actual idea?
So this is part of a larger project called SESQUI, which is being produced for Canada 150, and that's been coming together for a couple of years now. It started as a volunteer project, and then with a bunch of people working on it for like about 6 months to a year. We got some funding from the Canada 150 Fund, and have been producing things actively since roughly last October, 2 Octobers ago. So it's been about a year and a half of production, from concept through to sort of development, through to production and post. So it's probably a quicker schedule than I'd like if I were to do it again. But it's 2017 and that's the anniversary, so we had to get stuff done.
Nice. Tell us what stands out in terms of these 2 projects, and what stands out in your mind.
What we're trying to do with these pieces is really experiment with the whole idea of 360 and VR. It's a very young medium right now. It's kind of in its infancy. No one really knows what to do with it. So it's a great opportunity, in our case, to sort of explore a few different concepts that really haven't been done before. So in the case of Polarman, again, we're using comic book style art and looking at kind of creating an interactive comic book. And with Tribe Called Red, it's really about mixing the audio experience with the visual experience and kind of looking at ways to tie that together through gaze. So when you move your head, you get to control different aspects of the audio and kind of remix the track.
Getting to that Tribe Called Red, do you feel that production will lean towards that, music production will lean towards that sort of channel and that sort of path in order for music production to be successful?
I think you'll see much more exploration in 360 space, definitely. There's a lot of people exploring 360 videos already. You've seen stuff by Bjork, for example. And so I think a lot more people will try and explore that. But again, it's going to happen in parallel with the development of 360 and VR generally. Music's always a great engine through which to explore these things because it's lively, it's infectious. So I definitely think that you'll start to see a lot more bands and artists exploring what they can do in 360, especially in the context of the music video. There's flat videos are still great. A lot of people watching on YouTube, but now you can do YouTube 360 as well. So there's a lot more opportunities opening up to explore 360 in VR.
So how does one person, when they come to the Hot Docs Festival, how does one person come and enjoy what you're having here at the VR DocX program?
So DocX, I believe, is being hosted at Brookfield Place. So it's an installation downtown. You can go. They'll have headsets set up, and I guess you ask. They'll dial up the content that you're looking for. So if you want to see Tribe Called Red, ask for Tribe Called Red. If you want to see Polarman, it's like a menu. And then during the festival, a little bit later after the premiere, as of May 3rd, this is going to be available on our free app, SESQUI Meridian VR, which you're going to be able to download for free through the Apple App Store, the Android Google Play Store, and the Oculus Store for viewing on Samsung Gear VR, Google Cardboard, or the Oculus Rift. So every Canadian is going to be able to see this for free after the festival.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Take care.